These individuals had the most stunning involvement in the lottery that you will have a hard time believing. Yet what precisely happened when they purchased a lottery ticket? We should plunge into number 21, the victor of two $10 million awards. Juan Hernandez from Unale, New York, incredibly scored a $10 million sweepstakes for the subsequent time, only 3 years after his most memorable win of a similar sum. His most memorable triumph came from a $350 million money, fabulous scratch-off ticket, while his new success was gotten with a special scratch-off ticket. Hernandez decided to accept his most recent rewards as a solitary single amount, adding up to $6,510,000 while examining his unprecedented karma. Hernandez referenced to New York lottery authorities that I'm actually attempting to spend the $10 million from his 2019 success. The chances of securing the top award on a luxurious scratch-off stand at one of every 3,521,600, making the probability of winning 2 times extraordinarily interesting. Notwithstanding this, comparative cases have happened, proposing that Hernandez's twofold success isn't altogether interesting. Whether Hernandez will test his karma further in the lottery stays unsure. Some of the time, an error could be the best thing that consistently happened to you, and this was most certainly the situation for the following lottery champ on our rundown of 20. The $5 million error. Oksana Zaharov, a 46-year-old from New Jersey, won a $5 million big stake from a scratch-off lottery ticket she never expected to purchase while shopping in New York City. Zahara expected to buy a $1 ticket, yet was incidentally given a $10 one by the representative, selecting to keep it. She expressed that when the assistant gave me some unacceptable ticket, I felt awful, so I chose to simply feel free to get it. The ticket utilized as a bookmark for quite some time ended up being a champ. Zarf, amazed by her karma, affirmed the ticket's validness at the lottery office. Having at first questioned its legitimacy, she set off on a mission to get 19 yearly installments of $260,000, which was $172,600 after charges, in addition to an underlying installment of $60, which was $39,586.68, with the rewards. Zaharov plans a family getaway to the Bahamas, and to put something aside for her youngsters' school reserves. Imagine a scenario where doing a day-to-day task paid you millions for the following lottery champ on our rundown. This truly occurred. Number 19. Tidiness and Karma. Kenneth Morgan, a 54-year-old Jacksonville inhabitant, coincidentally found a $1 million Powerball ticket while cleaning his home on the 4th of July. Morgan described the occasion, saying, "I was cleaning the house on the 4th of July when I found the Powerball ticket in a cabinet. I checked the numbers and found it was a $1 million victor. I'm still in shock." The fortunate ticket, bought on April 17th at the Publix alcohol store situated at 12,620 Oceanside Lane, matched each of the 5 wall numbers yet missed the Powerball. This disclosure came during when 2 of Morgan's vehicles were down and out, featuring the breeze's ideal nature. Moreover, a new $286 million dual big stake win was noted with the triumphant ticket sold in Jacksonville at a Circle K at 721 South Chaffee Street, further featuring the city's dash of lottery karma. This grandmother's liberality in the wake of scoring that sweepstakes is both stunning and endearing. Number 18, the liberal grandmother Maran Timberland, a 18-year elderly person, became a web sensation for imparting her lottery rewards to the clerk who sold her the ticket before in the week. Supported by the clerk, Backwoods purchased a lottery ticket, promising to share her rewards in the event that she won $300 and not the top award of $500 she had expected. In the event that Timberland actually regarded her commitment, she entered the store with inflatables and an envelope, amazing the clerk Walter with half of her rise. The endearing second caught in a video shows Timberland giving over the envelope to an overpowered Walter as clients around them applaud and cheer. The video, shared by Heidi Woodland on Instagram, and intensified by the uplifting news development, procured north of 4 million perspectives. The subtitle, "Nitty Gritty, the Woodland Thoughtful Gesture." So sweet, Moran stayed true to her promises and commitments. She split her rewards with the clerk and astounded him with inflatables and an envelope that read Walter won. In some cases, individuals attempt to compel their karma, and for the following lottery victors on the rundown, it didn't end well. The lottery hooligans, John Ross Watson, 34, and Imprint Goodham, 38, were imprisoned for quite some time each after falsely prevailing upon $5 million with a scratch card bought. Utilizing taken check card subtleties. The episode happened at a server store in Applaud and Normal London on April 22, 2019. The pair, both with broad lawbreaker records and an unlicensed from past sentences, utilized the vehicle subtleties at Alice's store prior to getting the triumphant scratch card. Their endeavor to guarantee the award raised prompt doubt, as Goodrum's absence of a financial balance went against the charge card buy strategy. The extortion denied a real client of an extraordinary success. Watson, with 74 earlier convictions, and Goodham, with 24 past convictions, destroyed public criticism post-openness. Goodham likewise got 1 extra month sentence for neglecting to go to a past trial for the following lottery victors on the rundown. This was one battle. The spouse was glad to lose number 16. The illustration that blew up was that Glenda Blackwell, a 57-year-old from Leicester, North Carolina, inadvertently won $1 million while attempting to make a statement to her better half about the pointlessness of purchasing lottery tickets. She requested to buy 2 Powerball tickets, however rather purchased a $10 Carolina Millions pass to exhibit the impossibility of winning. In opposition to her aim, the ticket was a victor. Blackwell commented, "I needed to show him that karma doesn't hit all the time." She wound up retracting all that was said after the astounding win. She selected a singular amount of $415,500 after charges. Blackwell plans to utilize the rewards to buy another home and backing her granddaughter's advanced degree. Envision thinking you lost your triumphant ticket just for it to return. This lottery victor story is genuinely surprising. Fortunate number 15 is the fortunate victor who lost his ticket. Scratch Slatton from Sparta, Tennessee, encountered a blend of feelings after losing, finding his $1 million lottery ticket in a parking garage. As Slatton learned he had won $178,700 on spring 11th in the wake of buying the ticket the earlier day, "I was paralyzed. I could barely handle it." Nonetheless, his euphoria went to overreact in no less than an hour when he understood the ticket was absent. The circumstance was critical, as an unsigned ticket could be guaranteed by any individual who found it. Slatton. He backtracked his moves toward a vehicle parts store, where he in the long run recognized the ticket on the ground, taking note of its $1 million ticket, and somebody ventured directly ready to be done. Luckily, the ticket was still there regardless of the blustery circumstances, permitting him to guarantee his award with his rewards as Slayton and his life partner intend to redesign their way of life and contribute for a future with less concerns. The following story on our rundown is something beyond surprising. It's certain to cause you to feel awful for ticket proprietor number 14. The malevolent clothes washer California, a $26 million California lottery super lotto, in addition to ticket became useless after supposedly being obliterated in a clothing wash. The ticket sold at an Arco AMM store for the November 14th drawing went unclaimed by the reclamation cutoff time. A lady informed the store representative that the ticket was unintentionally washed with her clothing. The store's reconnaissance affirmed her buy, and the recording was submitted to lottery authorities for examination. Lottery representative Kathy Johnston expressed that cases of possession require significant proof, including conceivably photographs of the ticket. The triumphant numbers were 23, 36, 12, 31, 13, with a super number of 10, offering a money choice of $19.7 million or yearly installments unclaimed. The money choice will help California government-funded schools. This episode adds to the uncommon event of enormous bonanzas. For example, a $63 million award in 2015, staying unclaimed. Is there much else fortunate than getting lottery karma 2 times in a day? The following story will leave you stunned. Number 13, twofold karma coming back. A 70-year elderly person from Newark, Delaware experienced exceptional karma with scratch-off lottery tickets winning a sum of $400,000 in 2 separate examples inside a brief period. At first, she won a prize from 2 Extreme Money tickets bought at a quick corner store. Following this, while praising her most memorable score at the Delaware Sweepstakes Base Camp on October 20th, she purchased 3 additional tickets of the Serious Cash game, prompting an extra success of $300,000. The lady, favoring namelessness, communicated her surprise, saying, "When I scratched the 300 winning Serious Cash ticket. Later in the day, we just stayed there in dismay. It was outright madness. She intends to distribute the majority of the rewards to her retirement reserve, featuring her enthusiasm for scratching moment game tickets in the midst of her wins. The Powerball big stake kept on flooding, arriving at a record $1.9 billion, with the country enthusiastically expecting the result. This lottery champ safeguarded his personality in the most entertaining manner of all time. A dad in China, known by the nom de plume, scored $30 million from the sweepstakes in the wake of buying 40 winning tickets. Lee, who's been playing the lottery for 10 years with a steady arrangement of numbers, made his triumphant buy on October 21st, spending just $111. The following day, he found his significant win, with each ticket worth $765,000, adding up to around $3.6 million. To guarantee his awards secretly and safeguard his character from his family and general society, Lee wore a radiant yellow animation ensemble, explicitly the lottery's mascot. He communicated a craving to stay quiet about the rewards from his better half and kid, dreading it could influence their work and study ethic after charges, and a magnanimous gift to a lottery store supporting weak individuals. Lee's bring back home sum was $24 million, yet he stays unsure on the most proficient method to utilize the rest of his rewards. On the off chance that you think winning millions is fortunate, envision winning $1 billion. Lottery Edwin Castro won the colossal $2.04 billion in the Powerball drawing of November 2022, denoting the biggest lottery bonanza ever and deciding on a single amount. Castro got $997.2 million post-win. He enjoyed sumptuous buys, remembering a $25.5 million manor for Hollywood slopes, highlighting conveniences like a game room, wine basement, and endlessness pool, and a second $4 million home in Altadena, reflecting Japanese-style engineering with a pool in the cinema. Furthermore, Castro indulged himself with a one-of-a-kind white Porsche esteemed at $250 million and recruited a security group. The triumphant ticket was sold at Joe's administration community in Altadena, California, which procured a $1 million reward. Castro, keeping up with security post-win, announced California state-funded schools the genuine champ of his lottery achievement. His success followed an exceptional postpone in the attracting system because of safety convention prerequisites among taking part lotteries. This lottery champ truly tumbled, going through an unlucky streak. Post-lottery score number 10 sweepstakes victor subsequent to getting more than $5 million confronted critical results that prompted a huge decline in his life. In a court situation, the individual was exposed to legitimate examination, at last confessing to charges connected with drug ownership with guns. The result was a serious 10-year obligatory lease sentence. Considering his issue, he credited his destruction to the lottery win, recommending that the convergence of abundance was the urgent figure his life's ruin. This lottery victor utilized his rewards to at last accomplish his fantasy, and it's not what you would anticipate. Number 9, roaming Bambi proprietor. A lottery victor has changed his newly discovered abundance into a remarkable way of life, running a quaint little inn that mirrors his enthusiasm for movement, especially to migrant locales. The B&B works on an unusual timetable, tolerating appointments something like 14 days ahead of time because of the proprietor's continuous ventures. This approach guarantees the proprietor's presence and individual touch during visitor stays. The property serves as an exhibition hall, enhanced with relics and memorabilia from his excursions, offering visitors a vivid encounter of the way of life he's investigated. A little casing by the entry circumspectly shows a duplicate of his triumphant lottery ticket, an inconspicuous gesture to the fortune that worked with his way of life. With the foundation of the B&B lottery, champs can involve their abundance for anything they desire. Yet this nearby man decided to keep his life basic. Number 8. The neighborhood legend stays humble. Matthew Evans, a 35-year-old mailman from Barrie and South Greens, scored a sweepstakes bonanza of $3.5 million, however, has chosen to keep conveying mail in spite of the groundbreaking success. Evans intends to require just a 4-week break from his 11-hour shifts prior to getting back to his work, expressing, "I love my work. I can't see myself doing anything more." Residing with his folks while putting something aside for a house. The bonus currently empowers him to buy his own domain and satisfy individual dreams like claiming a Ferrari. Moreover, a reliable Cardiff City fan, Evans, communicated the longing to put resources into Imperial Mail offers, seeking to work for himself. His obligation to his work and unobtrusive designs for the lottery rewards feature a grounded way to deal with recently discovered abundance, making him stand apart as the most extravagant mailman in the land. Learning finance is very pivotal, and this unfortunate lottery champ truly might have utilized a couple of examples. Number 7, $1 million botch. An anonymous lady, in the wake of winning $1 million from Powerball by matching 5 white balls, picked a singular amount, getting around $550,000 post-expenses and charges, as opposed to tending to fundamental home fixes like the rooftop and locating. She extremely spent the cash on numerous vehicles and liberally offered assets, as though her rewards were much more significant. Her monetary bungle immediately became evident in the span of 10 months. The extravagance vehicles were supplanted with a 5-year-old Honda, and her home's condition kept on crumbling at last. She sold the property, and luckily the new proprietors embraced huge redesigns to re-establish the house. In some cases, lottery champs utilized their abundance as a way to really focus on their friends and family. Number 6, liberal guardians. The victors of the perusers review clear stakes. A couple got a $5 million payout conveyed north of 30 years, comparing to roughly $170,000 yearly. This aggregate, while not over the top, essentially surpassed seeded the couple's past monetary means, deciding on exiting the workforce. They bought an unassuming home in their old neighborhood near family, empowering a way of life that long tried to their newly discovered independence from the rat race. This permitted them to enjoy worldwide travel, appreciate high-end food, and value quality wine, satisfying their long-held wants. The appearance of grandkids further enhanced their lives, as the bonus managed the cost of them the chance to visit their more distant family on numerous occasions a year, making solid familial bonds and valued recollections. The following story on our rundown has a genuinely surprising and confounding secret included. Number 5 is a secret of wrongdoing. Abraham Shakespeare, a Florida lotto champ, unfortunately lost his life subsequent to winning a $30 million bonanza in 2006 and deciding on a $17 million single amount. His fortune drove him to Doris D&D Moore, a Shakespearean and ignorant part-time trash specialist who was proclaimed missing in November 2009, with his body tracked down the next month. Moore, who turned out to be very much familiar with Shakespeare post-win, was viewed as at legitimate fault for his homicide in 2012 and is carrying out a day-to-day existence punishment. Shakespeare's success at first appeared to be a fantasy, yet it immediately transformed into a bad dream, bringing about his troublesome passing. Scoring a sweepstakes is certainly a fantasy. However, this fantasy transformed into a bad dream for the following victors on our rundown. Number 4, a useful example of lottery tricks. Ali Jafar, 63, and his child, Yusuf Jafar, 29, from Waterton, Massachusetts, were condemned to jail for organizing a lottery extortion plot more than 10 years. They traded out 14,000 winning tickets, washing more than $20 million. Their activity included purchasing winning tickets at a markdown from those keeping away from duties and youngster support derivations, then, at that point, guaranteeing the maximum sums. They detailed these rewards on their expense forms, yet underhandedly asserted counterfeit betting misfortunes to avoid government personal assessments, cheating the IRS of roughly $6 million. Ali got a 5-year jail term, while Yusuf was condemned to more than 4 years. Both were requested to pay $6 million in compensation and relinquish their unlawful additions. This is one story with a bend. You will have a hard time believing. Number 3. The lottery legal counselor Jason Cland, named the lottery attorney, was condemned to 13 years in jail for swindling lottery champs, including the most elevated Uber Millions victor out of $17 million. He was indicted for wire extortion and tax evasion. Herland offered particular lawful exhortation to lottery champs, promising to safeguard their recently discovered riches. All things being equal, somewhere in the range of 2018 and 2020, he participated in plans that acquired millions from his clients' accounts without their assent. One such occasion included moving $19.5 million from a couple's record under the name of a productive venture, which brought about huge misfortunes. Cland, who depicted himself as a reliable counsel for the unsophisticated lottery champs, took advantage of their trust for individual increase. His activities prompted significant monetary misfortunes for his clients, a huge jail sentence, and a relinquishment of $64.6 million for his violations. These individuals took imagination to one more level with at least some expectations of a lottery win. Number 2, the play school convicts in Mississippi, Otis Leam and Russell Flashes were captured for endeavoring to cash a fake $100,000 lottery ticket. The team attempted to dupe the Mississippi Lottery. The couple attempted to cheat the Mississippi Lottery Company by sticking scoring numbers onto a sweepstakes ticket. They even marked the ticket and introduced it to the lottery office, expecting to guarantee the award. They were accused of scheme to commit a crime and expressing a counterfactual more than $1. Lamb confronted an extra charge for having a phony ID. Both were kept without charge. This demonstration of imitation focused on illegally guaranteeing lottery rewards is a serious offense that could prompt as long as 20 years in jail and a fine of $50,000, featuring the extreme outcomes of endeavoring lottery misrepresentation. To wrap things up, the following lottery victor on our rundown truly had karma on his side, and his story will leave you stunned. Number 1 is the tale of Bill Morgan. Charles Morgan, an Australian driver, characterized demise in 1998 subsequent to being clinically dead for 14 minutes following an extreme auto collision in the wake of enlivening from a 15-day trance-like state. Morgan's karma took a phenomenal turn, at first winning a Toyota Corolla esteemed at roughly $22,000 with a scratch card. His fortune proceeded when a nearby news group recorded him purchasing one more ticket for a reenactment, and incredibly, during this organized occasion, Morgan won an extra $250,000. Overpowered with feeling, he shouted, "I just won $250,000. I'm not kidding, and I dreaded another respiratory failure because of the shock." Morgan utilized his bonus to get a home in Melbourne, and shrewdly contributed the rest of well-being challenges. Morgan stays grateful for his uncommon karma and the existence he's had the option to lead post-recuperation. The stories of these lottery victors are surprising, showing us the eccentric spot of destiny, yet envisions scoring that sweepstakes and involving it for everyone's benefit. You won't have any desire to miss the moving accounts of lottery victors who are impacting the world with their successes. Perceive how fortune can fuel generosity as these lottery champs are impacting the world. Thanks for watching Gossip Now.